What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video of T4C Culture TV. I'm your host, and today we are going to be reviewing the North London Derby. For this special occasion, for this blockbuster weekend, I got my two Arsenal guys, and they've decided to go in a handicap match against one Spurs fan. So please welcome my Arsenal dudes, Nitin and Bala. Hi, G. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. Hi, Bala. How are you? It's been a while.
Hi, it's been a while. Yeah, how are you, man?
Uh,
Doing well.
last time we did a preview. It was a City game. You guys lost one.
Last.
So at the last time I did a preview with Nitin, you guys won 1-0. So hopefully that counterbalances things.
Yeah, I'll take
We'll
And
see about that.
my Spurs guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Ananth. Hi, bro. How are you?
Hey Archad, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. Uh, since the last time you came on the show, you got very positive reviews. Everybody was like, "Wow, Anand was on fire for his debut." So hopefully this time you don't disappoint.
I hope my team doesn't disappoint as well.
Don't worry. Everybody has that fear when they're going up against the North London guys and Arsenal. So yeah, this is first versus 14th. If you would have told me this 10 years ago, I'd say that Arsenal were the team that was first and Spurs were the team that's 14th. But now things have changed a lot. So, Anand, coming to you, how confident are you going into this game? You guys should have won against Chelsea, but you came out with a draw. Are you happy with the draw?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy considering that in the second half they were dominating us. But I thought we did really well going away to one of the top sides in London and one of the top sides in the Premier League as well. Coming away with a point away from home against the top side is never a bad thing. It could prove probably useful in the long run rather than losing a point. So I'm really happy about it. And considering the upcoming match, I think on the form basis, I would think we are really the favorites. But when it comes to a derby, form counts for nothing. So it's the derby thing gets everyone fired up, even the players. So I expect Arsenal to put up a strong fight and go for all the 3 points.
Nitin, like I mentioned, ever since we did that preview, you guys have been on a terrible run. We were talking about how this would be the catalyst for Arsenal going challenging into the top four and for achieving at least their target for the season. It's been it's been downhill from there. What is the reason for that?
Everything. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Barty going off injured is obviously a major reason. I mean, without him, our midfield has lacked any sort of balance, pace, athleticism, everything pretty much. And then, of course, I mean, our playing style becomes a lot more predictable without him because we have two midfielders who can just sit back. They just play passes out wide, nothing adventurous, not too many forward passes. So losing him, I mean, it's been a big blow.
Bala, your thoughts?
Whenever we create chances, also, right, we haven't converted them in this season, to be honest. So, if you are getting 2 or 3 chances in a game, and if you score 2 goals and you get the 3 points, that's it. That is how Jose will be setting up his team also in this fixture, I suppose. I think they will also sit back, play the low block, the same thing which Arteta will also do. But someone has to be adventurous and go out there and get that 3 points. So I think we have to give a positive starting 11 in the first place with some youngsters in the mix, maybe AMN or Niles or somebody like Villa. And defensively also, with Gabriel we have some kind of stability, but the thing is we still concede goals from pretty awkward spots. paces and other things and all. I think that has to be changed. Uh, if one chance comes up for the opponents, they are getting the goals means there is no use of playing a low block for 80 minutes and all. So I think we have to open up, play in the midfield. Midfield alone will decide this match. Pretty sure about that. I don't. I hope they pass on the right wing also, man. This time around, at least to attack on the right wing or no. Seriously, I'm speaking. Like
Okay.
nobody doesn't even bother to cross from the right wing, and they will play from the left wing. They will cross. They will cut back. Everything they will do from the same kind of. It is pretty one-dimensional. Team has been found out already, so something has to be done regarding that. We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes, how
Your
it pans out
your
in this match.
your talisman is on the left only, no, so they have to play that side so that he gets more of the ball. That is a
Yeah.
So you see, that's where the trouble began. That smile. That damn smile.
in the Europa. Mikel Arteta played Lacazette as a number 10. What are your thoughts on that? Will Lacazette play as a number 10 going forward? Is this his new role for Arsenal Football Club?
I mean, there's certainly a gap there. I mean, we don't have anyone who can play as a number 10. So, I mean, most of the times when he's played as the lone striker, we can see that he usually has his back to the goal. He receives the ball, he tries to hold up, he tries to bring these other attackers into the picture, and he hasn't been doing that well this season. So
Yeah,
I think one of the ideas behind playing him at number 10 is that he doesn't have to do that. He can receive the ball when he's facing the goal, doesn't have his back to the goal, can get his head up and either just take a shot or just find someone else in space. So I mean, it's yesterday wasn't really the first time that he did that. I mean, even in our previous Europa League game, uh, even though the initial team sheet had Enketia on
yeah,
the left, it was actually Lacazette who played as a number 10 and Eddie played up top. Uh, and he was actually quite average that game. So I don't want to jump the gun at the moment. I mean, yes, he was really good yesterday. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, I think we're at a point where we could just take a gamble on Sunday and just try him there, start him, and see what happens.
Yeah, but ultimately, it's not going to be like an attacking, free flowing team. Arteta will look to sit back and try to hit you guys on the counter, and Jose will try to sit back and try to hit Arsenal on the counter. But Anand, like we spoke in the earlier preview against uh, Man City, Kane was so instrumental to your lineup, to your style of play. But now that news has come out that he is injured, Jose came out and said that he's a doubt for the derby. He is in contention. Is this a Jose mind game moment, or is it like is he legitimately injured? And what impact does that have in your team? Can you play the same way without Harry Kane?
So that's a good question. So if you see, Kane was left out of the Europa League squad, and with rumors about his fitness being a concern. But Jose also mentioned that he is most likely to start the game rather than not. So that confirms one thing. But if you
Yeah,
see that we also left Carlos Vinicius, our backup striker, out of the Europa League squad, so that will put a doubt on Arsenal staff's mind that whether Spurs will go with the 4-4-2 with two
yeah,
strikers up front, with probably Son and Sissoko on the wings. So that's something Jose is trying to play the mind games with Arsenal with a big derby, and he especially relishes playing against Arsenal, who are his favorite uh, teams to probably beat, I
yeah,
should say, especially since Arsene Wenger's days. So he relishes every game with Arsenal, and considering it that it's our home game, I probably suspect we'll take the initiative with the possession, because I could see that both the teams' style are to sit back and hit the other teams on the counter. And on Sunday's game, probably one of them have to take the initiative. That's no other go. So I think we'll take that initiative. But I probably see that Hurricane will most definitely start rather than not. But it's definitely a question mark on whether Spurs will go with the 4-4-2 to counter Arsenal's three at the back, So that's definitely a possibility since Carlos Vinicius was rested for the Europa League game.
From one captain who's extremely on form to another who is having a really, really rough patch. We have to talk about it. Last time it was touched upon, but we just dismissed it as, yeah, it's a rough patch. It's only temporary. He will get through it. But I think it's cause of concern for Arsenal fans all over the world because Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has scored only one goal since the Manchester United game, and in spite of that, there have been calls to play him through the middle. There have been calls that he has not been getting the service, but he has been playing through the middle for the past 2 to 3 games, but still there is no change in his form. And against Wolves, he looked very disinterested, because normally when he is in that kind of mood, you know that something is troubling him and something's on his mind. So what do you think? Is it just a is it still just a blip, or is it now something to be concerned about?
Yeah, I mean it's completely understandable, right? I mean, if you're a striker, I mean you're in the team to score goals, and when
Yeah,
you don't do that over such a long period, and when you're a player like, I mean, who's had a career like Aubameyang, I mean, it's just what worst patch in what 6 7 years.
yeah.
So I mean, naturally, I mean, you begin to doubt yourself, and those confidence issues creep up. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it is a fair point that he hasn't had any service at all. But against Wolves, he did get into a couple of dangerous positions where he actually had the ball inside the box. Maybe had he been on, I don't know, higher confidence, he would have scored. He would have scored those normally. But uh, yeah, I mean, something's off with this game. I mean, if I were Arteta, if he doesn't score on Sunday, I would actually start him next week, next Thursday against Dundalk, just to get some sort of a feel good factor back. Uh, because I mean, we really need him. I mean, he's our
Yeah,
only player who can, I don't know,
who can
score out
actually
of
do
nothing.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I mean, our pattern of play, or lack of these patterns. I mean, they're obviously a cost to his barren run. I mean, we haven't been creating any chances.
Bala, Obama blood clot Yang. Do you what do you think about him?
Obama blood clot, yeah. We will see how.
Yeah, Bala.
Yeah.
There have been calls for Mesut Ozil to get back into the squad. Uh, I've already spoke to Nitin about this, but I just wanted to get your thoughts. Does Arteta need to swallow his pride and bring in Mesut Ozil into the squad? Because I think for the entire of the season, you guys have only created like 10 big chances. So does Mikel Arteta need to swallow his pride and get in Mesut Ozil? It's very Arsenal look very anemic going forward.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But even if Mikel Arteta wants Ozil back, I don't think it will. He's not included in the squad just for footballing reasons, right? He has some
Yeah,
controversial things going on and off. Regarding Mesut Ozil, like he has nothing to prove in front of anybody. Like he is the player who is capable of doing this, doing that. He is not good enough for playing in the PL. That controversial things and all, he doesn't even need to prove. He is a quality player. We all know that. Maybe he has passed his prime. We don't know. But I don't think he will be playing ever again for Arsenal Football Club. That is the thing. And regarding our captain who has been carrying last 2 seasons, without the goals of our, we are looking just normal. This is the same kind of play which we had during the Emery days. But
yeah.
Auba's goal scoring ability, it got us through some matches actually. But now that he is facing a dry spell and he is not able to even, like create or he is low on confidence. But he is who is capable of scoring any kind of goal on his particular day. I will maybe I think this is a huge match which prove himself again by scoring a goal in the first place. And after that, we have whenever he played with fluent players, like fluent passers like Saka. He has been good. Aubameyang just does not shoot and scores goals alone. He is capable of carrying the ball forward. He is capable of doing tricks as well. He can put the 1-2 against any of the players. But the thing is, like, he is not finding that kind of players in our midfield. That is the huge.
I
Yeah,
mean, coming
Anand.
back to Ozil, I think it's becoming more and more obvious with every passing week that his omission clearly wasn't because of footballing
Footballing
reasons.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, Anand, you guys will be having fans in the stadium in the derby. That's a huge advantage for you guys. Will that tip the scales in favor for Arsenal, or is it still like a even game so far?
So, fans coming back into the stadium is definitely a good thing. Could be a start of something more to come, because we all want fans and the noise and the atmosphere in the stadiums rather than just players cussing each other and that getting recorded in the mic. So that's a good thing. But it's again, if you see, just 2,000 fans allowed in a
Yeah,
stadium which has around 65K capacity. So it's not much. But I think the players will definitely recognize that they're again playing in front of their own fans. It's all going to be home fans and not
yeah.
away fans. So definitely that will be a driving factor in pushing the team up.
What will you expect from Jose? You said he'll be taking the initiative. Is that the case, or will he go like try to play it safe again, like how he did against Chelsea?
Uh, so if you see our pattern of games, it's not always us conceding possession and hitting on the counter. It's just been the games against those sides who enjoy possession and who want to dominate possession, and we sit back and probably break up their play and probably uh, frustrate them by not giving them space between the lines and to probably make runs behind our defense. So looking at Arsenal, I think they have pacey forwards. Even though they
Yeah,
don't have creators, they have pace in the front three in the form of Aubameyang, Pepe. Pepe would not be playing. Even Saka, Willian, etc. Even Reece Nelson. So I think Jose would probably start off trying to hold the position and push Arsenal back. And if he
yeah,
sees Arsenal getting in behind our defense, he would probably switch back to the way we played against City and Chelsea, sitting back and not allowing them space, and then hitting them on the counter.
yeah. Nitin, what can we expect from Arteta?
I think we'll probably have the same blueprint that we had against United. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah,
I I don't expect us to go out there all guns blazing, just being open because that would be like playing into Jose's hands.
yeah,
We've done
agree.
that in the past, and we also saw what happened before. Uh, I mean, I would be perfectly all right if we did. If we are a little bit more conservative in our approach.
Mm,
So I do think we'll go with the 3-man back, and the midfield is what is the real concern because Spurs that's probably their best area right now. I
yeah,
mean, Hoiberg, I mean, he's been a fantastic signing. Endomble, who we all thought last season would just be, I don't know, sold or something this season because he's just so out of favor. Uh, he's been amazing for them.
yeah.
Uh,
Big time.
Sissoko has been good. Lo Celso has been good. So their midfield is really strong. And uh, so I just think we'll have uh, a couple of midfielders who will just sit back. Uh, I do not think we'll have majority of the possession for sure. I think it will be Spurs who
Okay.
will. I think they will control the game, and it's just that we will just need to sit back, absorb the pressure, use the wide areas to go forward, and hopefully create something. I'm pretty sure we'll see lots of crosses.
Ananth, Nitin, will you be happy with a point?
Yes,
I definitely
Anand?
won't be happy with the point, considering it's a home game and we are top of the league. So I think this is one of the games which we should be winning. So I
Yeah,
hope we win tomorrow. I probably, based on Nitin's response, I think Arteta might play for a point tomorrow. and I'm not sure how that will pan out. And especially when Bala mentioned about Bellerin, and I probably read a quote about Arteta spamming crosses into the box, and he wants
Yeah.
more and more crosses in every game, and it was about probability rather than logical. And I probably my thoughts went back to the Chelsea game when Tammy could have scored from probably two or three of the crosses if he had been a better header of the ball. So I think that's one of the things we need to look out for, and especially considering Arsenal will be playing wing backs who can probably push up the pitch and spam crosses, and they have Aubameyang who can head the ball very well. So, and I hope he is as wasteful as Tammy Abraham was last week, and I
Yeah.
hope they don't score. But I definitely won't be happy because there is real belief within the club that in other seasons, if you see City and Chelsea games are the ones Spurs will struggle to win, even when they are on a good form, scoring 4 or 5 goals against Leicester, Wolves, or Burnley. Still, when we come up against a top six side, we would never be the ones going in as favorites. So I think Jose has given us that belief, and if you see, we have been keeping so many clean sheets, especially after the West Ham game, and I have real confidence that we can come away with something from the game, and I hope that's a win rather than a draw.
Those two answers were very, very symbolic of like how far both clubs have come. So I have to ask the standard question because of that answers you gave. Is there a power shift in North London currently?
Maybe for these few weeks.
Yeah, so even when we were finishing above them for a lot of times over the past few seasons, so there has been no real titles between the clubs. So FA
Yeah.
Cups, they've been winning FA Cups, but the Premier League or a good run in the Champions League, that's what classifies you as a good team or a top team. So I think we are both in the shadow of Chelsea when it comes to London, but when it comes to North London, I think we've been the ones ruling over the past few years. We've been finishing consistently above them. So that's something to cheer up when it comes to the North London locality.
Yeah, I mean, they've certainly been the better Premier League side over the last few years. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer. But I mean, as a fan, maybe like 5, 10 years down the line, I'd want to look at the trophies we've won. Uh, and
Yeah.
granted, I mean, it's not the Premier League or good run in the Champions League, but if I'm meeting a friend to talk about football, I wouldn't want to boast. Hey, I finished. We finished third that season. We finished second that season. We finished fourth that season. We finished above Arsenal that season. I want to say, okay, we won 4 or 5 FA Cups these last 10 years. I mean, that's obviously it's not the biggest trophy out there, but it's something. I mean, it's something you can actually boast about. And
I
until
tried for the
Spurs win something, just
yeah,
just anything other than an Audi Cup, I wouldn't agree to a partial.
I would settle gladly for the League Cup, considering the state
Yeah,
we are in.
yeah. I do think Spurs have a very good chance of actually
All
winning
we need is
something.
a trophy. So if we go at the current rate, we might have to put Harry Kane's golden boot in our trophy cabinet.
No, I
Tottenham
really
has
think Spurs have a genuine chance to win something this year.
Even though we like the style of play under Pochettino, he never took the cup game seriously. He always focused on the Premier League and the Champions League. He didn't give a second thought about FA Cup or the League Cup. And even though the fans were really hungry for any trophy, any kind of trophy, let that be FA Cup
Yeah.
or League Cup, he never paid heed to that. He played the youngsters or the players were lethargic. So the manager's thoughts obviously reflects on the players when they take to the pitch. So I think Jose understands the thoughts of the fans. So he knows that we need a trophy, some kind of trophy, and it's his second season as well. So and he would especially be disappointed with himself if he doesn't pick up one of the trophies out of the four competitions we are in the frame for.
Bala, what are your chances? What are your thoughts on Spurs winning a trophy this season?
We have to be humble enough to accept the fact that they have grown well as a team. Unlike Arsenal, who have been like deteriorating from for the last 4 or 5 seasons, that we can accept. But there are no trophies to show like been the better team. That is a shame actually. But the thing is like I consider them to be one of for the first time in my life I would consider them to be one of the serious title contenders with a good manager out there. And maybe they will be hopeful of winning something. I think both Arsenal as well as Spurs, they bottled the biggest European game of the last decade.
Yeah.
The winning mentality, that hasn't grown into these clubs as much as we would like to grow. But the thing is, like now that they have a winner, they have a proven winner out there who is capable of winning, who has won already something, and I think he can recreate it. But the thing is, like when it comes to Spurs, they are Spurs, just like he told. uh, it may happen. Shit can go wrong anywhere for Arsenal or Spurs, irrespective of the things.
Okay. So predicted lineups, and then we'll finish it off.
Yeah. So for Spurs, I think Doherty proved that he cannot be first choice right back for us in yesterday's game in the Europa
Yeah.
League. So when he came in, we all thought he would give Aurier a run for his money, but the opposite has happened. He has fallen down the pecking order, and his arrival has rather pushed Aurier to perform very well. So that's a positive for us to take it. So if Loris is fit, Loris will definitely be the goalkeeper. If not, I hope we play with Gazaniga, but we all see that cannot happen because Gazaniga was not even in the bench for any of the games so far in the
Yeah.
cup games as well as in the league games. So it was Alfie Whiteman, one of our academy graduates. So we'll have to go with Joe Hart. So I hope it is Loris. And the right back definitely would be Aurier, and Dyer would be the one of the center backs. And I could see Toby is back in the training, but if he is not fit enough to start the match, definitely would be Joe Rodon. So Joe had a big debut against Chelsea, so it's never easy
Yeah.
making your debut in a London derby away against Chelsea. But he came away with a clean sheet, which is probably credit to him and for the way he settled down after a shaky start. So I would keep my trust in him and give him a run of games in Toby's absence. And probably once we reach the knockout stages of Europa, we can probably register him and give him a run of games over there as well. And
Okay.
Reguilon was rested for the Europa League game, so he should start in the left back spot. So Davies again proved yesterday that we need a second choice left back as well, which cannot be Davies. So he probably the difference in quality between our first choice and second choice players in certain positions is what can define a team from a top team from once competing for the third or fourth positions. So I believe it will be Reguilon starting tomorrow. And the midfield three is probably set for us. It's always Ndombele, Sissoko, and Højbjerg. So
Mm.
so most of the Spurs fans were dreaming about the midfield of Højbjerg, Lo Celso, and Ndombele. So they
Yeah.
got to see it yesterday, and then they all realized that the missing piece was Sissoko. So the
Yeah.
midfield was overrun
You
by
never thought any Spurs fan will say that
Yep,
missing
yep.
piece is Sissoko.
Even we didn't think about it. We never thought the day would come where we would miss Sissoko. And the moment he came on, and we got a stability in our midfield. So Sissoko at the moment is undroppable because he provides massive cover for our defenders, especially for the right back and the right side center back. He covers their lines. He tracks back when Aurier pushes up to attack. So he's undroppable, and Højbjerg has been one of the signings of the season, one of the players of the season as well. So he cannot be dropped as well. And Ndombele, as Nitin said, the world is just getting to know Ndombele now that he plays in a bigger league rather than the League One.
Yeah.
So he's showing his quality week in, week out, and it's a standard pattern that he gives this all till 65th minute, and then Lo Celso comes on to fill his boots. So that's been the trend so far for Spurs, and I believe that will carry on in this game as well. So
Okay.
his ability to get out of tight spaces is second to none right now in the league. So probably a Neymar type player who we can see in Premier League every week. So uh, I thought the day would never come when he settles down with Jose and be a regular starter for us. But I'm really happy to see that happening.
Yeah.
And the front three again, I believe Son and Kane pick themselves in the starting lineup. And as I
Yeah.
said last week, the right wing is the spot Jose rotates frequently because he has so many options like Bale, Lucas, and Bergwijn. So I think Bergwijn did well in the Chelsea and City games, so he deserves a start again. So unless he wants to go a bit defensive with a player who can cover the defense, he'll start Lucas.
Okay.
Instead, I right now believe Bergwijn will start again.
Yeah. Nitin.
Yeah. So first of all, as an Arsenal fan, I just like to. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pray hard for the next 2 days that Joe Hart starts. But I think our lineup will be straightforward for the most part. I think obviously goalkeeping, there's no debate. Leno will start. It's going
Yeah.
to be Bellerin. Um, and then I think we'll go with the three-man back. I think Holding, Gabriel, and Tierney will be the three centre backs. Um, Tierney will once again act as a wing back whenever we have the
Okay.
ball, and he'll be the left centre back when we don't. Uh, so, and then I think Saka will again start out wide initially and will obviously come inside whenever we have the ball to give that extra bit of link up play.
Yeah.
Midfield again is the real question. Xhaka didn't play any part yesterday, so I do think he'll start, uh, which might be a bit of a worry against Spurs because uh, like we've all said this for the past hour, they have a really powerful midfield.
Exactly.
But I do think he'll start. The other midfield spot is the one where there's a real question, and uh, so Willock had no play and no part to play yesterday. Uh, Elneny did start, so maybe he might not start on Sunday. Ceballos came on as a substitute, so I do think it'll be uh, a choice made between Ceballos and Willock to start in the other midfield position. And then front three, of course, I think we all know that Willian will start.
Yeah.
Uh,
William definitely will start. But he got you guys an assist in the last game, so I don't understand the hate. Like maybe he's been returning to form now. He's going to return to form now.
I mean, it's not hate, but I'd much rather see us
Bro,
play.
rapid rain.
No,
I
no, against Wolves. Against Wolves, he gave the cross for Gabriel.
I'd much rather see us play Nelson. From being
Okay.
honest, uh, I mean he's still young. He doesn't always make the right decisions when it comes to the final ball. Uh, but at times I feel that he's been unplayable uh,
Yeah.
in certain games. He has this exceptional dribbling quality. His close control is just it's awesome. Uh, so I think he gives us that X factor.
I
Yeah.
think
You
Willian has
sometimes
history with us, so he has always come up trumps against us when he played
that's
for
true.
Chelsea.
That's
So
Local
I
true.
think,
lad. So
yeah, so I
Billion
think
itself is history only, bro. But
I, so after the opening day, he didn't get any assist till the opening day.
Still Wolves, yeah.
Oh,
no.
yeah,
But
that was
yeah,
a,
and
that was
so
his assist from opening day. Yeah. So continue,
oh.
Nathan.
no, yeah, I think Willian will start, and uh, I think maybe after yesterday's performance, we might see Auba on the left again and Lacazette starting.
Okay. Bala, to over to you.
The same as Nitin told, like the same. I would like to Nelson ahead of Willian, but I'm pretty sure that's not gonna happen. He's an experienced player. I think Arteta will opt for experience over him.
So Ananth, your scores, please.
Yeah, so I go with 2-0 to us.
Okay. Okay.
So
Clean sheet. Yeah.
I probably got a belief in my defense, in our defense. So if you had asked me a couple of weeks back, I would have accepted with you, and I would have said that there's going to be a definite penalty out there. But I slowly got my belief back in Dyer, so he has definitely improved this season. So he has been very solid against two exciting attacking teams like City and Chelsea. And I no disrespect to Arsenal, but they are not in a scoring form like Chelsea or City, who are very high scoring sides. So if Dyer can probably overcome and get a clean sheet against City or Chelsea, he can definitely get the same against Arsenal. But as we said, it's a derby, and Abba can definitely score bangers from outside the box, just like Laka did last season, and Aubameyang did the same a couple of seasons back. So, but on current form, I would definitely expect a clean sheet for us. If Loris is playing, I would probably add it as a disclaimer at the end. If it's hard, it cannot be. It can be a tennis score at the end.
Nitin.
I will go for a 2-1 win for Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the first time a person has given a negative prediction on this show, so I think I tried to jinx it, but let's see.
I mean, I
We all
hope
know.
it's a jinx, but honestly, again, looking at the current form and the way that both teams are playing, and I just don't think we can come away
Uh,
the
we,
point.
we all know how Nitin and Bala can be in the WhatsApp group after the game if they win. The humbleness is all for the interview. It's not for the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. He's going to come after this interview. He's going to come on the group and he's going to like
Yeah,
type his
one of
predictions.
one of us has to mute the group. I'm not. I hope it's Nitin and Bala.
Yeah. Bala, what would you?
Maybe considering it is a North London derby and considering the form which we are in, I will go with maybe like 1-1 draw to the max. Like I don't see us go scoring beyond a goal. To be honest, in this game, I will go with the 1-1 draw.
Bala, if we win, I need a if you guys
He
win,
might
I
be
need
on
a
the bench,
recording,
of
please.
course. Yeah, definitely a recording would come if we win. That is for grand. Yeah.
But I do know why Hotshot has
We will
not
see.
yet brought up the topic of a combined 11 because there isn't one.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that there's no use putting a combined 11. Just put Gabriel instead of where Toby is. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's go for a combined 11 then. Okay, starting at goalkeeper.
Leno.
I would
Ananth,
go.
really?
I would go with.
No.
So for all of Arsenal's defensive stability with three at the back, I think we've considered lesser goals than them. And you might have seen his save against Mason Mount last weekend. So that didn't get the credit it deserved. So it was just one shot on target for them, and it was a brilliant shot. And any other keeper, I don't see it being saved. So I won't drop Loris for anyone at the moment, neither from my combined 11 nor from my FPL team.
Okay, and just to be clear, I cannot choose between you guys. So each of you give your own combined 11s. Ananth, you first. You give your combined 11.
Yeah, so the only reason I would take Gabriel in is because Toby is not fit.
Okay.
So apart from Gabriel, and he has done really well for Arsenal. He has been one of the standout performers for them in a pretty average season for them. So and it's pretty unlucky for them that Partey has not seen the pitch as much as they would have liked him to see, because he is a pure talent, and he has seen the biggest of pitches in the La Liga against Madrid
Yeah.
and Barcelona for Atletico, and he could prove to be a good signing, but unfortunately he has been injured for most of the time, and we haven't seen enough of him to pick him in our teams just based on his reputation. So
Yeah.
I would just pick Gabriel from Arsenal, and that too because Toby is injured.
Nitin.
Again, I would go for Leno at goal
Okay.
because even though we finished eighth last season, I feel it would have been even lower without his saves. He single-handedly saved us in a lot of games last season. He's been good enough this season. So I've never been a big fan of Loris. I think he's a bottler, just like Tottenham. I feel he makes too many high-profile errors in these big games, uh, and that's
Okay.
sort of funny to say because he has won a World Cup. But uh, I know he has somehow never convinced me, and I would go with Leno, um, and then I would go with Bellerin. I would go with Gabriel, uh, and then. Uh, has to be Diet because I don't think we have a good enough second center back. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
and
considering you play three at center back, you don't have a good enough second center back.
that's true. Uh,
Yeah.
I would go with Tierney as the left back
Is
um,
it over Regulon?
over Regulon. Regulon, I mean, he's what played 2-3 games. Let's let's
Okay.
let's give him more games before we fully judge him. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
Okay.
anyway
we
just
say that when a player
team.
is not playing well. So I want to say at this time as well, when he is playing well, I want to say let's give him some time to see if he's able to cope up with the demands of the Premier League.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Midfield.
Midfield again, Heiberg has to be there, Entamble has to be there. Uh, again, I want to say Partey, but I agree with Ananth there. He hasn't played enough games
Yeah.
to warrant a place in this 11. So I would go with Sissoko. Um, Front three again, Son, Kane, and my other one would be Saka.
Pals. Come on. Over to you.
Only player I would like to see in an Arsenal shirt would be like, he's a combined 11. Then it would be Heung-min Son. Apart from that, I don't give a shit about these players. That is the thing.
So full full Arsenal team apart from Yudbitsan on the left.
Yeah, the Heung-min Son on the left. That's it.
What a way to finish it
Come
up.
on,
What a way
man.
to
They
finish
have
it
won
up.
an FA Cup. They have won trophies. They have won trophies to prove themselves, unlike these sore losers. That is what I would say.
Uh, Ananth, anything to say about that?
It's based on form. So, considering that I am going for a win and they are opting for a draw, I think it's just pre-match derby banter. I would say that, and I would, I know inside that they would cry for a team like us right now, with a manager like us right now as well. Considering the past few games, so I don't see Arteta getting the kind of positive appreciation he was getting last season when he won the FA Cup. He was being termed as a genius in the making, but he has been losing three home games on the trot. So I would rather play them on their home turf tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So that's the kind of form they are in. So
I think Kane would be better off playing at Arsenal because that way he can learn something from Nketiah and develop his game. And
yeah. It's all till Sunday night. Yeah, that's okay.
Brilliant, brilliant banter. This is what we all came to see. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Anand. Thank you so much, Nitin. Thank you so much, Bala, for coming on the show. Thank you so much, listeners, for tuning in. If you like this video, please make sure to leave a like. Do
Thank
comment
you,
as to
dude.
who do you think will win the title, who do you think will win the game, and please make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. For now, this is me, Hotshot, along with Nitin, Anand, and Bala, signing out. Peace.